Hey everyone, Chip Rogers, Chief Partner Officer at WorkSpan, and we are here day 3 for
Amazing reinvent.
incredible reInvent. I mean, it's just taken over Las Vegas, and we're in the Venetian. A lot of people sort of wandering around, going from session to session. It's been fantastic,
Yeah,
Chandra. Yeah.
awesome. Thank you, Chip and Nirav, for firstly coming to the reinvent and spending your time and meeting all our partners and customers. Super important. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, it's been fantastic so far. Just super busy, and so first of all, I'm super excited also to welcome Chandra Panipali. Chandra is global director, worldwide director for global SI and GSIs
Strategic
for
partners is what we call it.
strategic partners. For AWS and managing about 20 plus
Yes. Some of the
GSI.
most eclectic and interesting partners of AWS.
For sure,
Some of
the
the largest
largest.
as well.
Yeah, yeah. Also joined by Nirav Desai. Nirav is our with WorkSpan and our vice president and general manager of the GSI segment. And welcome, Nirav.
Excited to be here and so much of energy, Chandra, right? After maybe the largest reinvent ever. And amazing announcements yesterday. Andy Jassy was here and just so much of buzz and all the good things that you're doing. So excited to talk to you about all of these.
Yeah. It only keeps getting bigger and bigger, right? And interesting to you call out Andy Jassy because he was here as the customer of AWS,
I
right?
love that.
Yeah. So that always resonates with being our culture of being customer first, so, right? Like so, Andy coming back as customer and introducing the amazing Nova yesterday.
It was amazing. So many incredible innovations around Gen AI, and to hear Andy Jassy talking about some of the use cases right to the larger Amazon business. So it was really cool.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And also, Matt also talked about how it's even more important to make sure that the customers always have the tools, not just to innovate on the Gen AI stack, but also help them get out of the legacy workloads, like whether it is mainframe or VMware, or do better at what they're already doing, right? So in a way that going back to the builder's root, what makes Amazon such an or AWS such an amazing place for all our customers and partners to innovate, right? I think it's so it's a very good balance, I would say, like in terms of what AWS is really good at both providing the building blocks, but also staying very fast innovation around the Gen AI, all exciting Gen AI space.
Yeah, and there's so much happening. It's happening so fast.
Yeah, yeah. And we got like a lot of customers as well yesterday, including some of the big ones like Apple coming in and talking to us. Yeah. So it's amazing. And today now we have Dr. Swami's keynote going on as well, right? Like so,
Looking forward to it.
lot more going to come through that. Yeah, yeah.
So Chandra, tell us a little bit about your role managing, 20 plus. These are large strategic partners. Tell us a little bit about what your role is and what are some of the opportunities and challenges.
Yeah. So within the AWS specialists and partner organization, we have consulting COE headed by Brian Bohan. The consulting COE has two charters, right? Like one, we manage some of our most strategic and largest partners, directly manage them globally in concert with our geo colleagues. We also have the responsibility of building the consulting partner strategy for all of AWS. So those are the kind of two broad charters, and within that, I have the privilege of managing and leading a portfolio of all of our consulting partners, what we call as the GSPs, Global Strategic Partners. They are, as you said, 20 plus partners. They are range from some of our largest to some of the most dynamic and innovative partners. And that's a very exciting and interesting job in the sense that I have the opportunity to both understand what the partners want to do, tie that up with what our customers want, and bring AWS innovation and our investments and other things to make those big bets that help move the needle for our partners as well as for our customers. So it's a very interesting and exciting job that I have, and it's a privilege that I'm very, very conscious of as well.
Yeah, and a big role. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting and interesting job. Yeah.
So Chandra, 2024 is coming to an end. I've been reading your blog posts, been following you, working with the largest partners for co-innovation, going to market together, and delivering amazing value. What have been the key highlights for you working with these top 20 partners? And if you could also maybe give some examples as well around some of the customer value or customer use cases as well. I would love to know.
Yeah. So I think we operate around set of priorities, kind of define the strategy, right? Like obviously, as you said on my blog post as well, right? Like focusing on line of business, users, stakeholders of our customers is a big priority. Obviously, because ultimately the technology should deliver business outcomes, right? And that means that should translate to what the line of business stakeholders within our customers care about. That's what all technology should ultimately do. So that's a big priority, focusing on line of business owners in our customers. Then we can talk about all the generative AI innovation and everything, but if you don't move the workloads to cloud, if you don't move the data to cloud, you can't actually innovate much.
Yeah.
So driving migrations and modernizations to cloud is also a big priority, is a second big priority for us. The third one I would say is all about data and AI, right? Like, so once you get once you focus on line of business stakeholders, when you move the workloads to cloud, then you get the data, then you start being able to innovate as well, right? And we also want to look at new customers and new partners and new geographies, right? Like, so go beyond like our traditional partners and traditional segments where we operate and open up new areas for growth is also another big priority. So we try to build a strategy around these priorities, and when we make investments with partners as well, we make sure that these are some of the priorities that if they align with the partner priorities as well, then it's a win-win, right? And that's how we execute the strategy. So this year has been firstly landing the strategy with all our partners, and then helping them innovate in a way that it makes sense for them. Their business is profitable with AWS, thereby delivering value to the customer. Ultimately, you have to build a business that is profitable to the partners as well, right? So we want to look at it from that lens, and while not losing sight of being relevant to our customers. So ultimately, we have to work back from customers and treat also partners as our customers. So that's how we think about it.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. Chandra, AWS this year has had a huge emphasis on and sort of reorganized everything around industries, 24 industries, and system integrators are always, have really organized that way and have very deep, industry expertise on use cases and everything. We're getting some horn beepings back there. So how do these global strategic partners fit into that industry strategy for AWS?
Yeah, as you rightly said, a lot of our partners have been doing, have been focused around industry and go to market via industry for a very, very long time, right? So, like for example, I think we read a stat somewhere, like some of our partners like Deloitte as an example, or PwC, they've always been industry focused for a very, very long time, right? Or even our partners like TCS or Infosys, or new age partners like EPAM, All Cloud, all of them have got a very strong industry focus. So I think when AWS pivoted, at least reorged from an industry perspective, I think it was a very well received by most of our partners. Now the go-to-market organizations can align very well, and we can talk the same language, right, as well. So that actually is a tailwind to our partnership as well, and that is landing really well. And then, as I talked about our first priority, about focusing on line of business, so it becomes much more easier if you have an industry-centric conversation, right? Ultimately, line of business stakeholders are different in different industries, and then you can pick and choose where you want to focus with AWS.
It's fantastic.
And this is exactly meeting the customers where they are, right? Their use cases, their
Absolutely.
problem statements, and if you weave in the Gen AI as well, not just focused on efficiency and productivity, but a lot of transformation and innovation as well. So how does 2025 look for you? Some very big announcements by some of your partners, large SCAs, focus on Gen AI, focus on agents. And of course, you have joint business plans, and I was reading some news articles and announcements. Many of them are doing multi-billion-dollar businesses with you, right? And which is great, right?
Yeah. Right.
And all for end customers, right? Delivering end customers in the Gen AI era. So give us a view into what does this mean for you? What does it mean for partners and for customers, of course?
Yeah. So as you rightly said, right? So there are multiple areas that we focus from SCAs. SCAs are help us get not only focus but also drive investments where the outcomes that are tied to outcomes, right? So both of us can be very true to each other in terms of how we are executing a business plan, right? So the SCAs can be varied, and it typically depends upon where the partner wants to focus with us. Just like we work back from customers, AWS, we also work back from the partner priorities and where they want and what their strengths are. We also help them build those capabilities as well, right? Like as an example, Compass, one of our partners, wanted to expand in North America, right? So they're very, very strong partner of ours in Brazil, and now they want to expand in North America, Mexico, and other geographies as well, right? So we are building an SCA with them to precisely help them, but also more focus on certain segments that we want also growth in those areas, right? So that is one example. Another example could be with Capgemini. We did an SCA that builds on their strengths in the auto manufacturing industry, right? So that goes back to the LOB focus that we talked. We also have SCAs around some of the pain points around VMwares, right? A lot of customers are wanting to kind of modernize their VMware workload, but also make it easier for them. So we have SCAs around them as well. So obviously there are a lot of generative AI SCAs as well, right? But we want to tie the generative AI SCAs around these priorities, right? And what the partners want to do, right? Whether it is an industry-specific generative AI SCA or whether it is data and AI-specific SCAs as well. So that's how the SCAs are executed.
That's terrific. Chandra, thank you so much for taking some time with us this morning. A lot still happening today, a lot of great, some keynotes and announcements still on tap, so thank you.
One shameless plug, don't miss Dr. Ruba Borno's keynote this afternoon.
You're all going to be there.
Yeah.
This afternoon.
Yeah,
And many of your partners are getting awards as well.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
And, getting highlighted there.
That's exactly why I want you guys to watch that. Yeah?
We'll cover that as well. And Chandra, thank you so much for your partnership. We love working with you. We love working with your partners and enabling the collaboration between you and them as well. So wish you all the success here, and let's work together to build an amazing 2025 as well.
Thank you for the partnership, and thank you for all that you do to our partners, customers, as well as AWS. Thank you.
You're our customer.
Fantastic.
That's
right. Fantastic. Thank you, Chandra. Thank you, Nirav, and thank you all for joining. And we'll see you next time.